All right, so as I said in the last video, today we're going to talk about creating linear functions. So we're going to be in your notebook on page 42. Of course, we have a foldable again today, which means if you don't have a printer, you're writing on 42. Page 42 is, let me see what number it is, 5.2, creating linear functions. You're going to need some highlighters. That's also the title for 43, but we won't get to that till tomorrow. So go ahead, once you write that down, and put this in as 42 and 43. I think I told you in one of the other videos to take this out. We don't do that one this year. We actually already did it up here. Okay, 42 and 43. All right, so there's your title again if you need to pause it and see it. All right, so you've got a couple highlighters. We've got this foldable going on. You're writing in your notebook. If you don't have a printer, that's cool, that's fine. Or you could take just a white piece of paper or a piece of notebook paper and make a foldable too. That's fine too. All right, so we today are going to create the equations. Okay, something we need to know and something we need to look at. We had three types of equations yesterday that we talked about. We have slope-intercept form, we have point-slope form, we have standard form. So what we're going to do is we're going to start in point-slope form and simplify to slope-intercept form. Okay, you're going to see that. So we're actually going to write some of those down. So up here at the top, in this extra space, we're actually going to write down point-slope form. Point-slope form is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Okay, you're going to use your highlighter today to highlight y1, highlighters, the slope, and x1. Okay, so the instructions say write an equation for each line. Simplify the equation into slope-intercept form. Slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. So we have to simplify until it looks like this. Okay, so let's read this, highlight our important information, and plug in. So number one says the slope is 3.5, which by the way, you should almost never have a decimal as a slope, you should have a fraction. And the point, -3, 2 is on the line. So let's highlight. Our slope, m, is 3.5. Our point, here is x, here is y. Now we're going to plug in. Our formula says y minus y is 2, equals the slope times x, and it says minus -3. Now, I do not want minus a negative, so I'm going to erase that and put plus. All right, now I just have to simplify. Bring down y minus 2 and distribute. 3.5x. 3.5 times 3 is 10.5. My stuff froze, so let me hop out of here for a minute. There we go. Pause that if you still need to see it. All right, then I'm going to add 2 to the number at the end, not the x. Y equals 3.5x plus 12.5. It is now in y equals mx plus b form, and I'm finished. Number 2. Slope x, y. I'm going to plug it in. Y, I'm looking at this up here. Y minus -1. I'm not going to put y minus negative. I'm going to put y plus 1 equals m is 0 times x minus negative, so I'm going to put plus 2. Okay, distribute. Y plus 1 equals 0 times x is 0. 0 times 2 is 0. It equals 0. Okay, subtract 1. Y equals negative 1. Anytime you have y equals a number with no x, that is actually a special case. It is a horizontal line. So it just looks like this. Okay, number 3. I want you to pause the video and do 3 and 4 on your own. Alright, slope is 6, x is 1, y is 2. Y minus 2 equals 6 times x minus 1. Y minus 2 equals 6x minus 6. Add 2. Y equals 6x minus 4. And you've paused, I hope, and you're doing number 4. Slope is 1/3. X is negative 3. Y is 1. Y minus 1 equals 1/3 times x minus negative 3. So we put plus 3. Distribute. Y minus 1 equals 1/3 x. 1/3 times 3 is 1. Add 1. Y equals 1/3 x plus 2. Okay, we are going to be doing the same thing even on the inside. However, we will not always be given the slope and a point. We're going to be given some other things in just a second. So open this up. On 5 and 6, we are given 2 points, which means not only do we need this, but we also need the slope formula, which is m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Our steps are going to be, first, find the slope. And then next, write the equation. So we got to have 2 steps on this one. Okay? So first, let's find the slope. We are going to label these x1, y1, x2, y2. So we are plugging them in. Maybe you need another highlighter. I don't know. We'll need a 4th one in case you think you need a 4th one. Not necessarily. Depends on if you like to highlight these or not. I need a blue one. My blue highlighter has gone rogue, so I won't be highlighting them all. Okay, so we're going to plug this in. Y2 is 4 minus y1 is 1 over x2 is 3 minus x1 is 2. 4 minus 1 is 3. 3 minus 2 is 1. That means the slope is 3. Slope will go right here. Slope is 3. Then I'm going to use x1, y1. I don't know if those are the colors I used, and it bothers me if they're not. But anyway. Alright, so write the equation. Y minus 1 equals 3 times x minus 2. Okay, distribute. Y minus 1 equals 3x minus 6. add 1. Y equals 3x minus 5. So the only extra part is you have to find the slope first. I'll leave those formulas so you can see them. You pause it and try number 6. So I'm going to find the slope first. I'm not going to write number 1 then number 2, okay? So m equals, let's label them, x1, y1, x2, y2, 1 minus 1 over 1 minus 0. 1 minus 1 is 0. 1 minus 0 is 1. That means the slope is 0. Now, let's write the equation. Y minus 1 equals 0 times x minus 0. Y minus 0 equals 0. This is one of those special ones because 0 times anything is 0. Y equals 1. So remember, this is one of those horizontal line things. If you ever get x equals a number, it's a vertical line instead. And my thing froze again. All right, let's try 7 and 8. 7 and 8 are slightly different, and you're going to see why. 7 and 8, we don't actually have to do this. We still have to find the slope. Okay, that's not different. And then we have to write the equation. So not different in that aspect. You can either find the slope by doing this, or the slope can be found by doing the y-intercept divided by the x-intercept, and then it's the negative value. So it would be like 2 divided by 1, but then it's 2 divided by 1 is 1, and it's negative 2. Now I'm going to use the slope formula, but you can do whichever you would like. Okay, so let's say this is x1, y1, and this is x2, y2. Okay, so 2 minus 0 over 0 minus 1. And that's 2 divided by negative 1, which is negative 2. So like I said, it's possible that you just do the y-intercept divided by the x-intercept, and then it's the opposite sign. Sorry. All right, now, here's why these are going to be faster. We talked about slope-intercept. Y equals mx plus b. Now I've got a different highlighter. I've got a yellow one, and there's a reason. M is the slope. We've been talking about that forever. But B is the y-intercept. We talked about that before too. That means if I haven't been given the intercepts, I can just go straight to the type of equation I need without simplifying. Y equals the slope with an x plus 2. So if I'm given the intercept, I can do it that way. Now, I can still do it this way if you don't understand that way. It just is more steps. All right, last one. Pause this to try number 8 on your own. All right, remember, I can either do the formula, or I know negative 7 divided by negative 4 is 7 over 4. And then it's the opposite, so it's negative 7/4. But I'll do the formula. x1, y1, x2, y2, negative 7 minus 0 over 0 minus negative 4. So I can either put minus negative 4 because the formula is minus, or I can just erase that and put plus. And that equals negative 7 over 4. So negative 7 over 4. Okay. I have my slope. I have my y-intercept. I'm just going to write it. Y equals negative 7/4 x minus 7. Okay. All right, we are gluing this in, or you've written in your notebook, on page 42, which is 5.2, creating linear functions. This goes on page 42, which is 5.2. Tomorrow we're going to create some more. We're just going to be creating with word problems instead, okay? There you go. Now we'll see you tomorrow for the word problems.